Imagine for a second being in $200,000 worth of negative equity on a car that you bought when things were going really well for you, only for things to change, and you realize that this car is now literally killing you from a financial point of view. I see some crazy stuff online. This is one of the craziest things that I've seen, and I think it is worthwhile having a conversation about. And as we go through this, as you watch this with me, please let me know in the chat what you think the lessons are, because this is just absolutely bonkers. Let's jump in.
Client called to sell their 2021 Ferrari SF90. We're gonna give them up a call and see what we can do for them.
Hello?
Hey, is this Jason?
Yes, sir.
Jason, this is Alex with Earth Motor Cars giving you a call about your 21 SF90 you have for sale.
Yes, sir.
Oh, this is a 2021 SF90, which, beautiful car, absolutely brilliant car.
Yeah, I'm trying to get rid of this car, and I wanted to trade it.
What are you interested in trading it for?
It's the black Corvette Stingray C8. I think it's the 21, yeah.
Okay. And you have a Ferrari?
The Corvette Stingray, the C8, is actually a really nice car. It's a very, very nice car, but it's not Ferrari SF90, like, nice. So how do you go from that to that? Things are pretty bad. I mean, he's in $200,000 worth of negative equity, so yeah.
90 for trade?
Yeah, I do, man. Yeah, that's the car that I want to kind of get out of now, so.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about it, the Ferrari?
I mean, it's Russell Corsa, it's red, have the carbon seats. I don't know, man, the payments are getting kind of crazy, so I just thought I'd get rid of it and get something else, so.
Yeah, sure.
I just want to get as close to my payoff as possible, or if not all of it.
Okay.
Because I still do owe a reasonable amount on the car, so.
Okay, well, how much do you owe on it?
A little under $700,000.
How much?
About $690 something.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I bought the car for $770 in 2021.
I'm going to be honest with you, man. My number is probably going to start with a 4.
$770,000 on a car. That's mad. Look, I know that with some of the Ferraris, like, it's like the watch market, right? Certain cars, certain watches, especially during the 21, 22, even 2020, I would say, even when lockdown, because so many people were kind of like bored, there were certain markets and certain things that went up in value stupidly because there was a lot of demand, a lot of money sloshing around, people were kind of bored, wanted an outlet, I guess, from being in lockdowns and all this kind of stuff. So some markets went really, really crazy. The watch market is the same. There were certain models like Nautiluses, for example, that went stupid at that period of time. The market is now kind of settled back down again. And it's all about the economy. It's all about whether money is sloshing around or not, supply versus demand. There are so many variables that go into whether or not cars like this or other items like watches, luxury items like that, increase or decrease in value. It sounds like to me this guy bought an SF90 at the top of the market, because I'm not sure that SF90s went for that much. I don't know. We'll see.
So you're saying $400,000 is what I'd give for the car?
No, I'd give you more than 400, but my number would start with a 4.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man, you're close to a little.
So he owes $690, and he's probably going to get in the 4s for it. So over $200,000 negative equity, really.
Over $200,000 in negative equity, bro.
Yeah, and you're not the only dealer to tell me this, man. I'm trying kind of everywhere I can.
Oh, shoot, bro.
Like, literally, I took out a loan to cover my rent, bro. Like, things aren't really working out.
I mean, do you have strong income? What do you do for work?
Back when I got this car, I was making like $30,000, $40,000 a month.
Wow.
Okay. So $30,000 to $40,000 a month is $360,000, $480,000 a year. Now, you've got to take away taxes in this. Now, this guy's in the state. I don't know what state he's in the States, but in the States you have federal tax, you have state tax. And I think you've got some other bits and pieces underneath that, right? So his $480,000 or $360,000 isn't going to be take-home pay. So he still has to pay tax on that. Now, if he is earning between $360,000 and $480,000 and he bought an SF90 for $770,000, he's clearly overextended because the car is more than what he makes on a yearly basis. Now, that happens sometimes because people will be on, $50K a year here in the UK and they'll buy a 70 grand car. It happens. But at that magnitude, it's pretty freaking crazy. So $30,000 to $40,000 a month. I wonder what his payments on the car are. I think he actually says it in this reel.
Right now, it's like 10, 15, kind of burying me. And I mean, I shouldn't have bought the car in the first place, but
Hang on. I need to go back 1 second.
15, kind of burying me. $40,000 a month.
Wow.
Right now, it's like 10, 15, kind of burying me.
Right. So he was earning $30,000 to $40,000 a month. He's now earning $10,000 to $15,000 a month. So he's seen a significant drop in income. Significant drop in income due to whatever reason. I don't know what this guy does, due to whatever reason. It could be the economy, it could be he lost clients, whatever it might be. But he's taken a significant drop in income. And this is where I think there are fundamental lessons to be learned. As human beings, it is natural for us to, when things are going well, not to think about what happens if this gravy train runs out. We automatically just think the gravy train is just going to carry on and we're just going to be sweet this entire time. But a lot of the time, you have seasons where you earn really good money. And the skill that we're not taught in school is how to sow seeds in those seasons so that we can reap and harvest later on. What most people do is they earn in these seasons, they spend it all, and there's no train of thought around, maybe I should sow something for a bit later on. And this is what this guy has done here.
And I mean, I shouldn't have bought the car in the first place, but
What was the sales price of the car?
$770. I didn't put much down at all. My payment's like $10,000 or $11,000.
Okay, so he was earning $30,000 to $40,000 when he bought this car for $770,000. He's now making between $10,000 and $15,000, but the payment on this car is $10,000 to $11,000 a month, which is basically everything that he's earning. So all of what he's earning is going on the car. And look, I would even argue, I play devil's advocate here. Even when you're earning $30,000 to $40,000 a year, if you're taking out a car that is going to cost you £10,000 to £11,000, which is a third or a fourth of your income, of your monthly income, and this isn't even to bring in things like mortgage, rent in America, health insurance, again, taxes. This doesn't take into account any of his other expenses. So he's doing really well at $30,000, $40,000 a month, but he's paying $11,000 just for the car. It's insane. It's financial suicide.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, literally, I'm surviving on my savings, and that, like, the car payment's just ripping me in half, man. I mean,
I can imagine. The car payments are literally a noose around his neck. I mean, if he's having to borrow money to pay his rent, of course, like, at least he had some savings at least, but now he's got to the point where the savings are quickly being exhausted because you've got to pay $10,000 to $11,000 on a car. Like, no wonder he wants to get out of it.
Store, which pays for most of it, but
Here's one for sale, bro, with 3,000 miles for $489. Here's one with 3,000 miles for $499. So, unfortunately, when you bought it in 2022, the SF90 market was like crazy. So you're not the only one in this situation. I just don't know what to do in regards to get you out of your 200,000 plus in negative equity. You know what I mean? Because I can't roll that amount over onto a car, let alone a Corvette. Why the Corvette? Just to have a sports car still?
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's kind of it. I mean, I kind of have to still keep like a certain kind of image and everything. So I just thought maybe I can get a Corvette or something that are a little cooler.
Okay, look, now this is really telling. So he's saying he wants to go from an SF90 to a Corvette CA. Forget the fact that this thing's killing him financially. He's still, in the back of his mind, is thinking about the image he needs to keep up. Now, this brings into question what he actually does for a living. Now, he says he does some stuff on Etsy. So what that sounds like to me is he could be someone who is on social media and he needs the car for his social media image to draw in customers. And we see this a lot with finance bros, right? People who will flex a Lamborghini, a Ferrari, a G-Wagon, nice watches, right? And all of that is done as a marketing ploy to attract young men, young women to buy whatever it is that they're selling. And ironically, them buying what this person is selling because of this image that they're portraying with this car is how they actually make money. I see this so often when it comes to trading scams or trading forex, trading crypto, whatever it might be. A lot of the guys talk about we're making this much money. They're not making money from trading. They're making money from people joining their groups, joining their Telegram, signing up to this, signing up to that. When those things start to filter and peter out because people lose patience or may not be seeing the same results as this person is getting because it's like a pyramid scheme, right? The more people buy, the more money they make, the bigger the promise, the bigger the lie becomes. When people start to leave, then people like this start to suffer because all of a sudden their income drops. So it's a constant kind of like chase to get more people in, more people through the funnel to make sure that you can maintain this supposed lie. And I don't know whether this is true about this guy, but that's what it sounds like because he needs a car for the image. Now, I know as men, there is ego involved. And as human beings, period, it's really, really hard to admit that, maybe I made a really crap financial decision that I shouldn't have made. And you know what? This is something that I'm going to have to learn from. But the fact that he's still thinking about his image, he's thinking about, I would argue, his business and how it's going to make him look. That, for me, is mind-boggling.
A lot cheaper. I mean, I can afford a payment like that. That's something I should do because I still really need a sports car.
You still really need a sports car, you're saying?
Yeah.
I like to think of myself as someone knowledgeable, but in this situation, I might have to call some of my friends that are more knowledgeable than me on this. Like, it might, realistically, bro, you might have to forfeit the car.
What does that mean?
And not allowing it to be repossessed, you're voluntarily giving it up.
Now, this is really good advice here, actually, I think, because even if you voluntarily give up this car, you're still in the hole for $200,000. So you still need to find a way to pay that money back. So you're not off the hook. But I think, again, we spoke about ego. There is going to be a lot of ego behind that decision. You're voluntarily giving it up. Is it better than having the car repossessed? Yes, it is. But this was an ego purchase in the first place. I can almost guarantee you that. I'm earning $30,000, $40,000 a month. I need to keep up this image on social media. Here's an SF90 to make me look like the man. This was an ego purchase. So now you're battling your ego to get out of the hole that you dug yourself buying this car.
Yeah, we might have to give Dave Ramsey a call on this one.
I don't know if we should do that. I think I know what he's going to say.
Okay, after that I can still get like your Corvette, right? Okay. I can't do zero down.
What do you think? Now, whoa. Let's just go back for a second.
Get like your Corvette, right? Okay. I can't do zero down.
So not only is he going to have to wrap his head around the fact that he needs to voluntarily surrender this car. He's still in $200,000 worth of a negative equity that he's going to have to stump up. He's now concerned about whether he can still get that Corvette C8 with zero money down. Does anyone see the problem here? Anyone see the problem here? This is a huge, huge, huge psychological fucking, I don't know, dig yourself a hole. This is crazy to me. This is absolutely crazy to me.
I just think the smart decision here, I think we got to come up with a game plan of what to do with the SF90 first.
I like the way this guy kind of like set it aside. Look, we need to come up with a game plan for the SF90 before you start thinking about the C8. I mean, talk about priorities and getting priorities straight.
I guess, yeah. Okay. That sounds good, I guess. I can't do anything else right now, so.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Jason, I appreciate your time for taking the call. Confirm you are okay with us uploading this? I know you said you were before, but.
Yeah, no, I really don't care, man.
I'll shoot you a text with my contact information, and like I said, I'll call some people to see what we can do from there, bro. I'm really sorry about the situation.
Cool. No, yeah, you're good, bro. All right. Well, thanks for talking to me. I appreciate it.
All right, Jason.
Awesome.
Appreciate you.
Bye.
No, I think the guy did really well on the call. I mean, what do you do? And I hope Jason's managed to kind of like sort himself out. But I think there are fundamental lessons here. And the first one is this, like, if you're earning a lot of money, think about sowing and not just spunking the money up the wall. We don't get taught this stuff in school, I know, I appreciate that, but as an adult, we need to think about how we maximize and get to be as efficient as possible and as effective as possible with the money that we do earn. I think that's the first lesson altogether. I think the second one is, ego. Ego. Ego's made me buy a lot of dumb stuff in my time, like really stupid stuff. Ego has made me do really stupid things, spend money in stupid ways. And it's funny because I was at an event with one of my friends about 3.5, maybe a month ago, and I was speaking to two young guys in their 20s doing really, really well. And I'm in my 40s now, and we were talking about, life experience and all that kind of stuff. And one of the things that they said was, I wish that I could have the experience and the knowledge that you have now in my 20s so I could maximize. And I'm like, yeah, I get it, because, for them, they were about, okay, look, I still want to go out. I still want to be able to enjoy myself. I still want to be able to go to nice places and do nice things. And one of the, and it's not a surprise to me because these are young men at the end of the day. They were talking about women and, wanting to be able to date women and all this kind of stuff. And one of my key things was like, you can do all of this stuff, but please do it in proportion and do it knowing that you have other priorities. Like, chasing women is great. Driving a nice car is great, but what are you doing to secure yourself for the future? And I feel like in the social media age, I could not be a 20-something-year-old now in the social media age. I just couldn't, because I think the pressure is too much. On social media, it's all over the feeds that you need to be driving this car, wearing this watch, going to these places. But the reality is you don't know the circumstances of the people that are showing you all this stuff, that are telling you all this stuff. Social media is a fallacy. It is a fantasy. It's fugazi. It doesn't really exist. A lot of stuff that you're seeing online is just fake. And this is a case in point. You buy an SF90 for way over market price because it's an ego purchase. You need it for your business to maintain an image. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? You're earning $30,000 to $40,000 a month, and you didn't think that buying this car would extend you and stretch you financially to the point that if anything were to happen, like your income dropping, it could mean that you've got a noose around your neck. And we're not talking about $2,000, $4,000, £10,000, $200,000. This is mad. This is property money. This is investment money on what? A car? For what? Ego. For what? Being able to show on social media that you've made it. We need to rethink this. And maybe I'm just old now. I don't know. But I think there were lots of lessons here. What did you pick up? Did I miss anything? Is there anything that you would add to the commentary that I provided here? I would love to know in the comment section down below, because this right here is pretty crazy. And unfortunately, this is a common occurrence. If I find more of these things, I might do more reaction videos like this. If you find any that you want to send to me, by all means, send them to me on Instagram or just email me at hello@peterkomolafe.com. And yeah, we can get into it. But look, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Cheers.